Hey guys, it's Mustache Girly 24 here, and please leave a like, subscribe, and a comment. And I definitely need some more subscribers and likes. And here's my live stream number 3. Now, for today's live stream, I'm just going to be doing my homework. I'm going to wait till somebody joins and I have to do it. Here's my homework folder. Can't really reveal my first name yet. Here's my homework folder. It looks really neat, but yeah. And yeah, so first thing I have to do for my homework is my grammar. So I'm gonna go ahead and take out my grammar and do that. So we're on page 3 this week since it's a Wednesday. The date today is November 8th, 2017, and today we'll basically do my homework. So it's a Wednesday, so I just have to really put my name and my number down. I mean, I don't have to put my number, it's just more fun that way. Dang, nobody's joined. It's been a minute already and nobody's joined. That's so sad. Wow. Now, oh, hi. What up, Queen M? Okay. So, if you don't know already, I'm doing my homework. I'm doing my grammar right now. So, hi. Why'd you say A? Why'd you say A? I or A? I can't pronounce that. Okay, well, okay, so the first thing you have to do is rewrite each run-on sentence as instructed in the parentheses. Add any conjunctions and or punctuation that is needed. You did it all yesterday? Oh my god. Okay. So, rewrite each run-on sentence that is instructed in the parentheses. Add any conjunctions or punctuation that is needed. The ship left at dawn. It sailed to the east. Separate sentences. Okay. So, the ship left at dawn. Period. It sailed to the east. Okay. Capitalize I and it. Sailed to the east. Period. Always need periods when we're doing stuff like this. So, oh great, now I have nobody on here anymore. That's so weird. Could somebody please join? I'm so sad here by myself. Okay, well, just for the fun of it, I'm gonna put on some lipstick for fun. Ow. I don't even know why I have lips. Oh my god. I suck at putting lipstick on. Okay. So now my lips are all dark red. Perfect for the camera. Lights, camera, action. I'm just kidding. I'm so weird. There's like nobody on this live stream. And this makes me really sad. Yeah, but I got lipstick on and yeah. So, the voyage would be long. There was plenty of food. Okay, the voyage would be long. So there was plenty. So there was plenty of food. Okay, there we go. We spotted a storm ahead. We tried to sail around it. Okay, then. We spotted... That's spooted. We spotted a storm ahead. So we tried to say comma. So we tried. So we tried to sail around it. Still, there's like nobody on the live stream. Is there like nobody on YouTube? Come on, please come back on. I didn't put lipstick on for the fun of it. I didn't even ask my parents if I can put it on. Come on, somebody join already. This is boring. Number 4 out of 5. I stayed in my cabin. The crew raced about. I stayed in my cabin while the crew raced about. Okay. We found calm seas. We had clear. We found calm seas. We had clear sailing all the way home. This is weird. We found calm seas, comma, and we had clear. We had clear. Come on, I can spell clear right. Sailing all the way home. All the way home. Okay. So I finished my grammar. That was pretty fun, basically. Oh, a battery. I'll have to plug it in really quick. Let me just get my plug in. I'll plug it in really quick. My plug's right here. Okay. Move my homework to the side. Pop this in the socket over here. Ow. And then plug in the device. There we go. Okay. Got that done. So, now it's my mouth. Now, my mouth is like my least favorite part. I hate math. I mean, a lot of kids in my class love math, but I really don't like it, so. Nobody's joined yet? I'm doing my homework, you guys. Come on, I'm bored. Oh, great, I only have 2 number puzzles. Okay. My name and my number on here. Wait, no, I already have the date on here. 11/8/17. Okay. Solve the following problems. If you find only one number that fits, explain how you know that it is the only one. If you find more than one that fits, explain how you know that you have found all of the possibilities. My number is a multiple of 15. My number is also a multiple of 10. My number is greater than 100. Number is greater than 100. My number is less than 200. Oh my god. So, it's a multiple of 10, which I'm guessing like 150. Because, yeah, 150. Because 15 times 10 equals 150. And 10 times 15 equals 150. So it's got the 10 and the 15 in there. So definitely it's going to be 150, and it's greater. It's less than 200, and it's greater than 100. So yeah. I only found one, so only found one answer. Now, just in case you guys don't know how to spell answer, because I'm actually in a spelling bee, so I'm trying to do as much spelling as I can. It is ANSWER. So that's like, it's really distracting me. I have lipstick all over. This is why people don't trust me to put lipstick on. This is what happens. I get like smeared all over my face. There we go. There we go. That's off now, I think. I don't know. There you go. Okay. There we go. So, I only found one answer because 10, because it is hard to get a number, because 150 is the only number that is a multiple of 15 and 10. Period. Okay. Number 2. My number is a multiple of 150, which kind of tells me that 150 is the first answer. 9 is a factor of my number. Okay. Well, I'm good at 9, so my number has 3 digits. The sum of the digits in my number, is 9, with 3 plus 3 plus 3, 333. I wonder if that's actually it. No, because 150 plus 150 is 300. This is hard, you guys. I'm not good at this stuff. 330. Factor of 150. All I can think to equal 9 is like 5 plus 4 plus... No, 5 plus 4 plus 540? No, come on. Think, mustache, think. I don't know, but, let's see, are those like little kids outside again? It's already been, like, okay, hold on. I have friends, I have a lot of neighbors, they're really annoying. Oh no, that's my sister. Okay, well, my number is a multiple of 150. 9 is a factor of my number. 9 is a factor of my number. So it's like 9 times something, and then, some of it, the number has 3 digits, and the sum of the digits in my number is 9. 3 plus 3 plus 3 equals 9. 3 times 3 equals 9. This is really hard, you guys. 150. No, this is really distracting me. This is different. There we go, not starter. And I'm just gonna dab it up a little bit. There we go. But, you guys don't know. I'm definitely not a fan of like makeup. It's like sometimes I got really chapped lips, so I try to cover it up with makeup. So that's what I tried doing today. So there we go. Okay, so it's a multiple of 150. 150 plus 150 is 300. Some of the digits. Digits in minutes. Let's see. Can't be 300. 300 plus 150. 450. That's it. 450. 450 is 9 times 50, I think. Let's see, 450. Let's see, if I do 9 times 50, I get 9 times 0 equals 0. 9 times 5 equals 45. Oh my god, it is 450. 450, yes, 450. I only found one answer again. I found one answer. Because well, 150 times 3 equals 450, and 9 times 50 also equal, 950 also equals 450. Okay, here we go. I'm done with that. I'm done with my and so now all I have to do is really read. So I'll definitely read it out loud, but it's going to take me quite a while, and this is going to take forever to upload. And then by the time I'm done with my homework, it's just still going to be uploading, and then I'm going to be really mad because I like watching YouTube when I'm done with my homework. So okay, so this is all staticky, I think. So this is my book, Molly's Story, and I'm going to be reading it to you guys, I guess. I don't know why, but okay. Okay. So, I'll read the back. Meet Molly, a very special dog with a very important purpose. Molly knows that her purpose is to take care of her girl, CJ, but it won't be easy. Neglected by her mother, who won't allow her to have a dog, CJ's going through some tough times. Molly's job is to stay hidden in CJ's room, cuddle up to her at night, and protect her from bad people. And no matter what CJ's mother does to keep them apart, nothing will keep Molly away from the girl she loves. So Molly is this this dog right here, and CJ's her owner, basically, and her mother will let her have her. Her mother's name is Gloria, and stuff like that. Now what just happened is that somebody knocked on Gloria's door and said that, she said that CJ was missing too much school. So then Molly came out of the basement, and Gloria saw Molly, and they're going to be having a talk now. Okay, so let me just read. This is the 6th chapter. I've read this book quite a bit. Okay. Gloria jumped out onto the porch, and I followed. I wagged my tail at her and the other woman standing there. "That's not a fox," Gloria yelped. The new woman bent down and petted me. She had warm, gentle hands that smelled of soap and also of salty nuts. I licked them happily. "A fox?" she said, confused. "Of course it's not. It's a puppy." "What's it doing in my house?" Gloria gasped. The woman stood up. "I can't answer that, ma'am. It's your house. Here's a copy of here's a copy of the citation, along with the notice to appear. She handed Gloria some papers. "You'll need to come to court with your daughter. Understand?" "What about the dog?" I looked up at Gloria and wagged harder at the word dog. Maybe she had finally remembered about my treat. "What about you? What about it?" "Take it with you," Gloria demanded. "I can't do that, ma'am." "So you mean to tell me you're more concerned about a kid skipping a couple of classes than you are about a woman trapped on her own porch by a dog?" The new woman sounded bewildered. "That's right, yes. That's the stupidest thing I have ever heard of," Gloria cried out. "What kind of police officer are you?" I'm a Trant officer, Miss Mahoney. I think you have everything you need now. The woman turned and walked off the porch. What do I do about the dog? Gloria yelled after her. Call animal control, ma'am. That's what they do. All right, I will, Gloria muttered. She took a step sideways to where a broom was leaning against the wall of the house and drove the paper she was holding to grab it. The jabbed in briskly and at me. She jabbed the bristly end at me. I jumped back and then leaped forward again, trying to catch the bristles in my teeth. This was a wonderful game. No, Gloria shouted, real fear in her voice. I stopped and looked up at her, tilting my head. I knew that word no, but what was it about? Didn't she like the game? We could play something else if she wanted. In one quick movement, Gloria stepped inside and slammed the door shut. I stood for a few minutes, looking at the door, but it did not open up again. So I wandered down into the yard. It was another nice day. Maybe that rabbit would be looking out for me again, or would be out looking for me. I left the yard and trotted down the sidewalk, sniffing at the bushes. It would be more fun to be outside with CJ, of course, or Rocky to play and wrestle with. But still, this was better than playing Be Quiet under the stairs. There was rich with the fresh, juicy scent of leaves and grass and sweet flowers. I could smell the other dogs that had left their marks on bushes and signposts, and where cats had rubbed against tree trunks and fences. Squirrels had darted across the grass, and when I caught a whiff of the rabbit, I followed it to a hole under the porch. When a car whizzed by, added its own metallic, oily smell. My nose never stopped moving. It was pretty clear that the rabbit wasn't going to come back out. So after I'd sniffed at its hole for a while, I kept moving. A trash can on a corner drew me close. There was food in there. It seemed like forever since CJ had brought me a bowl of crunchy things to eat. Just by sniffing, I could tell that there were scraps of bread and bits of meat in the garbage, along with other things that smelled tasty too. I stood up on my hind legs and stretched my front paws up as high on the can as they could go. But I couldn't reach anything. I dropped back down. Something crunched under my paws. It was a thin, crinkly bag, and it smelled deliciously of salt. I stuck my nose deep inside it, licking hard. There were a few thin, crisp chips at the bottom, and I gobbled them up. Salt made me thirsty even as I ate, and burned my tongue like the ham had. But I couldn't stop. Then I took my head hard to get the bag off. It went flying. Across the street, I spotted a squirrel, perched low on the trunk of a tree, near the ground. It was excellent to chase. I needed to get over there, but I paused at the edge of the curb and peered down at the street. So far, I'd gone up steps, but never down. Up seemed easier. I put out a paw, hesitated, and then leaned farther over. Suddenly, I couldn't keep my balance any stronger. On both front legs, followed by my head, came down onto the street. My back legs followed a second later. I rolled over, got to my feet, and shook myself. A car came past, and I realized that I was closer to these giant, noisy, strange-smelling beasts than I had been while I was on the sidewalk. Across the street, the squirrel scrambled to foot up the trunk. It was getting away. I barked and bunched my back legs under me, ready to sprint. Then a big human hand came under my belly and scooped me up. Hey there, little pup, a deep voice said. That doesn't look safe. I squirmed around to get a look at whoever had picked me up. It was a big man with a rumbly voice and a fuzz of black hair on his face. In one hand, that wasn't the one that wasn't holding on to me, he had a pole with a loop of shiny rope at the end, but he leaned that against the van that was parked by the curb and used his free hand to rub my ears. Sorry guys, I suck at reading. I'm really bad. He smelled interesting, of other dogs and soap, and there was something fresh and minty in his mouth. But right now I wanted the squirrel. I scrabbled with my front. Oh my god. I scrabbled with my paws to let him know to put me down. Calm down now, he said, and he opened up the back door of the van. There was a strange-looking box in there, made of metal wire, and the smell wafted out from it that I did not like. It smelled like fear, like more than one dog had been here and had been very, very afraid. With one hand, the man opened up the door of the box. Deftly, he plopped me inside. Then, as quickly as CJ would slide the boxes to trap me under the stairs, he shut the door. I was stuck. I turned in a circle, bewildered. Lots of other dogs had been in this box before me. I could tell. And most of them had that unhappy and frightened. And most of them had been unhappy and frightened. How was I going to get that squirrel now? When would CJ let me out? Hey, a voice shouted. The man turned at the sound of footsteps getting closer. Hey, the second shout was louder, and I knew the voice. It was CJ. I put my paws up on the cage and barked with happiness. Somehow I knew we weren't playing Be Quiet now. And my girl was here. My tail beat the air. What are you doing? CJ gasped, running up to the man who'd put me in here. She looked wide-eyed and frightened. That's my dog. Now wait, the man said. Just wait. You can't take my dog, CJ cried. I began to get worried. CJ's voice was high-pitched and anxious, like that of a puppy who can't find her mother. I could tell she needed me. Why didn't she just let me out and pick me up? We had a complaint, the man told CJ, and his dog was running around loose. I yipped to remind CJ that I was here and waiting. Complaints? Molly's just a puppy, CJ said. Who complains about a puppy? I yipped louder at hearing my name. The man shook his head. She's got no collar, no tag, nothing to say where she belongs. She belongs with me, CJ said frantically. Can't you tell? Look at her. I tried chewing on the wire, but it hurt my teeth, so I just jumped as high as I could reach, and ran and barked and squirmed and did everything I could to tell my girl to come and get me. Listen, hon, the man said. If she's your dog, you can pick her up at the shelter any time after noon tomorrow. But wait! Tears were flowing down CJ's face now. I whimpered, wanting to kiss her sadness away. Why wouldn't she pick me up so I could take care of her? She won't understand if you take her away. She'll think I don't care about her. Please. I don't know how she got out, but I promise that it won't happen again. Promise, please. The man took in a deep breath and let it out slowly. Well, all right. Look. Okay. But you need to get her a collar and a tag and take her to the vet. Get her vaccinated, get her a microchip, and in a few months, spay her? Okay, yeah, spay her, and then get a license. It's the law. CJ gasped and blotted at her tears. I really will. Please, can I have my dog? The man reached in and opened up the door of the metal box. Almost done, you guys. 4 more pages. I bounded out into CJ's arms. I didn't get a treat this time. Maybe I hadn't been quiet enough, but I didn't care. It was enough to be close to CJ, to look at her salty tears and wag my tail hard against her body. Thank you, CJ whispered. Thank you. All right, the man said, but keep your promise. CJ nodded frantically, still holding me tightly. The man got into the van and drove away. CJ held me tightly. Oh, Molly, she whispered. Oh, Molly, I guess we'd better go home. I could feel her heart beating hard in her chest. And it didn't quiet down as we walked back to the house. It thudded as we walked up the porch steps. CJ glanced down at the papers that were scattered across the boards of the porch. Bent to pick one up and looked at it. She stood there for a while, holding me close, with that paper in her hand. Then she opened the door and stepped inside. Clarity, is that you? Gloria came into the living room from the kitchen and then stopped staring at me, staring at CJ and me together. I wagged. I was willing to go over to Gloria and say hello, but CJ held me tightly. In fact, it was a little uncomfortable, but I was willing to put up with that to be next to my girl. What is that? Gloria demanded. This is Molly. She's my dog. It wasn't just CJ's heart beating hard now. She was shaking all over. I burrowed my head under her chin, trying to get as close to her as possible. Tell her no, I would always be there to look after her. No, it is not, Gloria said. Out, take it out of here. No, CJ jerked her chin up. You cannot have a dog in my house. I'm keeping her. You can't make any demands like that just now. Do you know what trouble you're in? A patrol officer came to my door. You've been missing too much school. They came out here to arrest you. CJ set me down, sat on her feet. Did you even bother to read this? CJ asked. She waved the paper at Gloria. It doesn't say anything about arresting me, but it does say you have to come to court with me. Well, Gloria stood up straighter and stared down at CJ. And it will tell them you are completely out of control. And I'll tell them why. I could tell CJ was more angry and frightened now. Her voice said it, and so did her hands, tightened into fists by her sides. What do you mean? Why? Why I was able to skip so much school? You go on trips all the time and leave me here without any adults. What do you think a judge in court will think about that? I don't believe this. You asked to be left alone. You hated the babysitter I found for you. I don't think a judge will care about that, CJ said firmly, and I could tell that Gloria was the one who was anxious now. I looked around nervously to see what the threat was, but all I saw was the living room, couch, fireplace, coffee table, bookshelf. It looked the same as always. Unless, CJ said in a low voice, unless you let me keep Molly. I heard my name. I looked up at my girl's face. What on earth? Gloria demanded. If you let me keep Molly, I won't tell anybody about your trips. CJ told her. Not the judge, not the principal, not anybody. I'll say I told you I was going to school, but I was actually skipping. I'll say it wasn't your fault. It wasn't my fault, Gloria said indignantly. And Molly will help keep me safe, CJ added. When you go away again, if I have Molly, I won't mind. I'll never tell anybody, no matter how long you stay away for. A dog in my house? I can't believe this, Clarity. You know how I feel about dogs, and you know how I feel about Molly. So what do you want me to do? Gloria threw out her hands on one to each side. Fine, but I'm not doing a bit of work to look after that thing. She turned around and walked back into the kitchen. CJ let out her breath in a long, shaking sigh. She sat down and pulled me onto her lap. I was happy to get on with the business of kissing her chin and letting her pet me from nose to tail. Oh, Molly, CJ whispered. I guess we won. That night, I got to cuddle in my girl's bed again. I was so excited that of course I had trouble sleeping, but CJ put her hand on me and petted me slowly and gently until I got drowsy. I leaned against her and felt my love flowing into her, and hers flowing into me. I woke up later because I could hear someone walking down the hall. Gloria. The door from CJ's bedroom to the hallway was open a little. Gloria pushed it open a bit more, and she stood there, staring at me on the bed. I wagged just a little. I did not want to wake up my girl. Gloria didn't seem happy to see either of us. She just stared at me from the darkened hallway. Okay, well that was it, you guys. I'm gonna count up how much pages I read. I read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I read 11 pages, so I'm gonna go ahead and mark that down. I read 11 pages. I've read Molly's story. Okay, so now this is what I have to do. I have to write down how much pages I read. I have to write down the name of my book, and I have to write down either a summary, make a prediction, ask a question, make a connection, or visualize. So I usually write a summary, so that's what I'm gonna do. So in this chapter, Molly got to stay with CJ, and Gloria let her keep Molly. So wait, in this chapter, Molly got to stay with CJ, and Gloria let her keep Molly. Okay. Period. CJ also made a promise with Gloria that she will tell the truth at court since she skipped so much school. Period. Done. I finished all my homework in 35 minutes. Well, basically 36, but you know me, 35 minutes. So, yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave a like and subscribe and a comment. Bye. Bye. Okay, hon. Bye.